Hey guys, Moo here again. I want to show you a little bit about the UI before the game comes out. Um, I'll talk a little bit about the paths and stuff as well, just because it's part of the UI. So let's get started. There's my RN. I chose Exile for the beta. But anyways, um, so you have your main functions as WASD is your move. You can always change them to. In this game you have a double jump. Every character, every class race will have a double jump, and you all get sprint as well. Also in fights you will have a double tap evade, which is really nice, and down here you can see that it's charging up. When that gets full, it'll count 1 and it'll keep going until you get 2. These are your dashes. And you can disable this feature using this little button right here, and that's in case you're an explorer and you're trying to go really careful around a corner and you don't actually evade like that. So next we have kind of like your base, I wouldn't say ultimate, but it's one of your more powerful skills that each class, it's different for each class, but for Spell Slinger it does more damage basically. So for Spell Slinger it makes you kind of look electric. It makes everything more powerful. You can see that these ones right here are the ones that it makes more powerful. This one would be a long range tick damage, so that would do a lot of damage. You can also notice that it counted this as well. So for like my auto attack, it went down. It can hit 0, which it will in a second, and it'll automatically stop it. But as soon as I can turn it back on, which is in a second, I can turn it on, and I can use it again. So you can turn it on without it actually being totally full. Now, each class has different ones. I'm not going to go over them all. I think the only two that I know off the top of my head is Stalker is basically your stealth move, and Medics is like a shield depending on your health and your allies' health. So, and it's considered a buff, so it'll show up here. So turn that off, and now it's gone. So this is your health bar as well. Right now they don't show numbers. I don't know if they're going to add that. I don't know if there's a feature to turn it on. There's probably going to be an add-on eventually that'll turn it on. And right now they also have shields in this game. I don't know if you know, I've read a little bit about it, but shields are part of this game, so you'll have a shield on top of your health. Well, everyone will. So, and the shields actually come with stats on them too. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. So this one actually gives me finesse and moxie, and I'll go over those in a different video as well. So let's keep going. So these are your basic skills right here. You'll have 8 of them. Just like, I mean, you won't have a huge option. It's not like World of Warcraft. We can fill up a huge bar of skills. You only get 8. But I guarantee you're gonna find very different from WoW, where there's not like one really good build. There's going to be tons of builds in this game. There's just so many different skills that do so many different things. The one I chose was stun, snare, and basically flame. So it's like a tick rate DPS, but that changes with how you want to play your character. Now to open that menu, you hit B. And if you didn't know it, in this game they actually made it really tricky. It's called Action Set Builder, which I don't know why they just didn't call it Skills. That might actually get changed. Probably a lot of people are going to complain about that. Next you have your gadget item, which you'll be able to get later in game, which will be here. You'll have a potion item, which will be over here, and then you have like your it's kind of like a function item. It's used in either in combat, out of combat, it doesn't really matter. They have 2 different ones right now that I know of. One's this holographic thing that allows you to get away. It puts a fake you there, and they usually dance or they stand there depending on what you're doing. And then the other one is a group recall, which calls your whole party to you, which is really useful. And then lastly, over here we have a recall home, recall transmat. The transmat is basically like a portal. It's kind of like Hearthstone, where you teleport to town, whichever one you have it set to, and then house is actually to your house. Okay, on the sides here you can add more slots, which I was talking about, but it's not for skills. It's more for like potions, mounts, usable items. So I can get on my mount right here, which they actually added a feature over here. A lot of people were getting confused about where the mounts were, so they added a feature where you can pull up a whole list of mounts. The only one right now that I have is the hoverboard. It's the only one that was offered. So, and the mouse are the same in this game. You can double jump, you do a trick, you can sprint on it. It's really cool. And actually, you don't get slowed down in water. You go right over it. So that's a nice feature. Let's continue on with kind of your path quest items. So like if you get a quest, it'll pop up here with a C, and it'll have like a communicator basically. That's what they call it. Now if you close out of it on X or anything, you can use this play button right here, which is basically like a voicemail. It'll save all the calls that you get right here. Now for your pass, you have this little nifty kind of like quest log right over here on top of your other quest log that you can minimize. So if you don't want to see it, you can minimize it. It'll tell you what you need to continue little mini missions. So if you're a soldier and you're doing like mini missions around the area you're in, it'll keep track of how many more you have. Scientists will tell you how many more things you have to scan. So I have to scan 7 of these Humera in Wild Run, and yeah, it's just a neat little feature that helps keep track of what you got to do. So let's go ahead and minimize that. Over here is your inventory. In this game right now, you just right click and it'll show you this. It'll show you how many slots you hover over it. But you can change the bag slots up top here, so you can have it in different bags. Right now, this is all I have, but that's good enough. So right next to it is your gold. So right here is your gold purse. They haven't added anything else here, so I don't know if they're going to. It might be too cluttered, but that's pretty much it for inventory. On the bottom here, we have your XP bars. So you have your path XP and your regular XP. And if you go AFK or log out in a city, you get rested XP as well in this game, but not for your path. Your path is regular XP no matter what. So that's kind of another thing. On the left side, you have your little shortcuts. So if you want your main ones, so you have your character, you have your skills, quest log, social, mail, lore. So if you're big into lore, they have it right here. And then on your bottom left, you have a kind of do all function that shows you every single interface that you might need. But it's pretty basic. On the top right, you have a HUD, just like any other game. You can change what you want to see. So it's a pretty nice feature, just like any other game though. And then you have your map feature, which opens up your map, which you can hit with M, or you can do it up here. On the right hand side, you have your quest log, traditionally on the right, and you can minimize them, you can get rid of it if you want, but I usually just leave it there. And then on the bottom left here as well, you have your chat, which the only downfall that I've seen the chat so far is that when you reply to a whisper from a friend, you can't do like a /R and it automatically picks the name. You actually have to type it out. So that's something they probably have to add. They haven't done it yet. But everything's here, so you can switch yell, whisper, party, emote, zone. Right now zone is the most popular one, including advice. Those are the 2 most popularly used to get a hold of people. Zone is just in your zone, and advice is actually the whole realm. So if you're looking for realm help, that's what you want to use. But if you overuse it for like trading or something like that, you'll actually get in trouble. So I wouldn't do that. And then also you have anything you loot gets saved down here on the bottom left. So you have your combat. So it'll tell you who was actually using what. So if you have someone in a raid and you're like, well, you didn't use this, and they're like, yeah, I did, you could pretty much have them screenshot it and it would tell you. So that's a cool feature. You can also lock it and whatnot too. But that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to go ahead and teleport back to my house here, and I'll get to the next video on telegraphs. Thanks.